Dylan, thank you. This afternoon, we're also learning more about the timeline surrounding a Kansas priest now facing child sex crimes charges. Ryan McCandless was serving 3 Catholic parishes in north central Kansas before his removal. Gabriela Hernandez explains.
Court documents are giving us a clearer picture on when these crimes may have happened. And today, a child sexual abuse survivor says this case underscores why she believes more protection is needed. Court records allege the abuse happened in Bellevue between July and September of last year. Prosecutors have charged Ryan McCandless with 3 counts of aggravated indecent liberties with a child involving a 6-year-old. McCandless was arrested on July 22nd in Wichita and has since been transferred from Sedgwick County to Republic County Jail. Today, I spoke with a child sexual abuse survivor who has testified before Kansas lawmakers in support of legislation that would require clergy members to report suspected child abuse.
I was 10, and it makes me disgusted and angry that this was a 6-year-old. Again, having mandated reporting statutes in Kansas would help this a lot, because then there would be a paper trail.
McCandless most recently served as pastor at Catholic parishes in Bellevue, Munden, and Cuba before he was removed from ministry. If convicted on these charges, he could face a life sentence with a mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison, along with fines up to $500,000. This case does remain under investigation, meaning limited answers from law enforcement at this time. Of course, we'll keep you updated. McCandless is next due in court on July 30th for a preliminary hearing. In Salina, Gabriela Hernandez, 12 News.